All right, with Donald Trump's projected win last night, it brings all of his legal cases now back into the headlines. We are almost immediately, once again, going to be in kind of unprecedented territory here with the next president.
Yeah, the big question, what next? To have a president who has been convicted of multiple felonies and has several pending federal cases. But what happens now to Donald Trump's criminal and state cases?
Joining us now is David Driesen, professor, Syracuse University College of Law. Good morning to you. Thanks for coming on the show this morning. So look, we know Donald Trump is the projected winner here, and the big question moving forward on the legal front is what's going to happen with his legal cases. The expectation is he's going to do away with all of the federal ones, but there's some questions about the state cases. What are you expecting as he moves forward and assumes office?
Autocrats like Prime Minister Erdogan of Turkey pretty much destroyed the rule of law, partly to defend themselves against corruption, and that's what's going on here, is that President Trump is going to continue his successful campaign to undermine the rule of law, as he did when he got an immunity ruling. With respect to the state cases, you know, if the law is followed, Trump might go to jail in New York. And if he's convicted in the Georgia case, he could potentially go to jail, and he'd certainly not have his indictment dismissed. But the Supreme Court has become very political, has become an enemy of the rule of law, as you saw in the presidential immunity case. And so it's likely that it's not going to be palatable to allow a sitting president to go to jail. It's inconsistent with the court's political philosophy. So I would expect them to carve out at least an immunity from going to jail while in office and expect to that. And that would be a change in the rule of law, because the expectation has been that the law applies to the powerful as well as to ordinary people in the same way. And that's not happening with respect to Trump because of his capture of the court.
For the viewers that don't follow these legal cases too closely, you said that the justices are going against the rule of law in the immunity case. Why is that? Why do you believe that?
Well, because the rule of law, the Constitution contemplated that presidents would be accountable for their actions, at least after leaving office and arguably within it, so that they had to obey criminal laws just like anybody else. But the court said that for official conduct, the president is presumptively immune from criminal prosecution no matter what he does. Which is a shocking degradation of the rule of law.
And along that same line, because let's face it, Georgia case could still proceed. It's a state case, but it's gotten all gummed up because of the district attorney issues and other issues. New York, maybe they'll sentence him later this month. Maybe they won't. Now that he's president-elect, it's different. The classified documents case, the federal judge in that case kind of scuttled that away. It's also rumored to be on his short list to be the next attorney general. And Jack Smith may get dismissed once Trump puts his hand on the Bible and says, okay, round two. So practically, what real jeopardy do you think he faces? What case, if any, is left that could do any leave him legally exposed in any meaningful way?
Well, he's still got these civil suits for sexual harassment, and you know, he's going to have to pay damages in those suits. So they don't need to put him in jail to collect. They can attach his assets. So I would expect he'd have trouble on that front. But in terms of him going to jail, I think he's going to be able to escape because he's destroyed the legal institutions. He's destroyed the independence of the Supreme Court, which is now undermining rather than supporting the rule of law and the Constitution. And he'll, in due course, subdue the Justice Department. What autocrats do is they turn the prosecution service into a protector of the corrupt regime and their supporters and into a persecutor of political opponents. And that's what Trump has clearly indicated he's planning to do and what he tried to do in the first term.
Sir, please come back. There's a lot to get to along that angle. And appreciate you giving us some time and insight. We'll be right back.